At 8:15 a.m., the sun fell, and the world was never the same. In a single flash of light, an entire city vanished. No warning, no defense, no precedent in human history. This was not a natural disaster. This was not conventional warfare. It was the moment humanity crossed a line, the first and only time a nuclear weapon was used in war. But why was it used? Who made the decision? And did the world truly understand what had just been unleashed? Stay with us, because the final answer is far more unsettling than the explosion itself. By the end of this documentary, you will understand not only what happened in 1945, but why the consequences of that decision still shape global politics today. The deadliest war in history was nearing its end, but peace was still nowhere in sight. By 1945, World War II had consumed the planet. Over 60 million were dead. Cities lay in ruins. In Europe, Nazi Germany had fallen, but in the Pacific, Imperial Japan continued to fight despite devastating losses, relentless bombings, and a tightening naval blockade. American military planners feared one thing above all: an invasion of Japan's main islands. Estimates predicted hundreds of thousands of Allied casualties and potentially millions of Japanese deaths. The war needed to end, but no one knew how. That is when a secret project entered the equation. The most powerful weapon ever conceived was built in total secrecy. Since 1942, the United States had been working on a classified program known as the Manhattan Project. Its mission: build a weapon so destructive it could end the war in a single blow. Thousands of scientists, billions of dollars. Entire cities constructed in secrecy. Among them were some of the greatest minds in history, including J. Robert Oppenheimer, who would later reflect, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." On July 16, 1945, the first atomic bomb was successfully tested in the New Mexico desert. The explosion exceeded expectations. The weapon worked. Now came the most dangerous decision in human history. Once the weapon existed, not using it became a political decision. President Harry S. Truman faced a choice no leader had ever faced before: use the atomic bomb or launch a full-scale invasion of Japan. Military advisors argued the bomb would force surrender and save lives in the long run. Others warned that its destructive power was morally unprecedented. Japan had not yet surrendered. Time was running out. Truman approved the strike. The target had already been chosen. The first nuclear attack in history lasted less than a second. On August 6, 1945, a US B-29 bomber named Enola Gay flew over Hiroshima, Japan. At 8:15 a.m., it released a uranium bomb nicknamed Little Boy. In an instant, a blinding flash, a fireball hotter than the surface of the sun. Approximately 70,000 people died immediately. 3 days later, humanity crossed the line again. On August 9, 1945, a second bomb, this time plutonium-based, was dropped on Nagasaki. The terrain limited some of the damage. Still, over 70,000 people were killed, 2 cities, to nuclear weapons. 3 days, Japan could no longer continue. The war ended, but the fear had just begun. On August 15, 1945, Japan announced its surrender. World War II was over. The atomic bomb had achieved its immediate objective. But a new reality emerged: if one nation could destroy a city in seconds, what would happen when others gained the same power? The bomb that ended one war created a permanent global standoff. The Soviet Union tested its own atomic bomb in 1949. An arms race followed. Soon came hydrogen bombs, weapons hundreds of times more powerful than Hiroshima. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction was born. If nuclear war begins, no one wins. Ironically, the bomb designed to end wars may be the very thing preventing another world war. Was it necessary, or was it a crime against humanity? To this day, the decision remains deeply controversial. Some argue the bomb saved millions of lives by preventing invasion. They point to the fanaticism of Japanese resistance and the projected casualty figures for a conventional land war. Others argue it targeted civilians, was a war crime, and set a dangerous precedent for future conflicts. There is no easy consensus. There are only consequences, felt for generations. In 1945, humanity proved it had the power to destroy itself. The nuclear bomb has been used only once in war. But its shadow has loomed over every conflict, every diplomatic negotiation, and every political alliance since. The question is no longer can we use it again, but will we choose not to?